Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an experience. Welcome to the wrestling experience on a hot summer night here in the days of dog days of summer is here. And of course, it's Thursday, and you've landed on that mother ship. It's time for the wrestling experience. It's time for you to get in this ring and get going. Tonight, we have a story on Goldberg. We've got a story on Rollins. We've got wrestling news. We're going to rewind an incredible women's evolution. We're going to rewind Saturday night's main event, and we're going to rewind All in Texas. All of this just for you, the great wrestling community, just for you, here tonight on the Wrestling Experience, because you crash landed on Planet Experience, and it's time for you to get in this mothership. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the experience. Welcome to the Wrestling Experience. All right. All right, folks, welcome back to the experience. Welcome to Planet Experience. Please make sure that you smack down the like button. You smack down that like button. And of course, you subscribe and share. I really appreciate it. Hope you all had a great Thursday. Hope you all had a great Thursday tonight. Already we got Dro in the house. Dro says Kyle Fletcher needs to stop wearing pink on the. Yeah, that. And anyway, anywho, folks. All right, let's just go into it here. We're gonna talk about Bill Goldberg. All right, Goldberg expressed frustration with the WWE's handling of his final match and farewell speech. Goldberg's retirement match was long time coming, but the legend was not happy with how WWE handled the build to it or the execution, the final night of his career. Goldberg appeared on the Ariel Awani show and expressed frustration with the situation and WWE's lack of build to the match. I would have loved them to announce in January and have a build up to it and do something like that. That I thought was maybe worthy of my career, Goldberg says. But let's just say that they choose to do it with 3 weeks' notice. And it is what it is. It's part of the package, part of the meal that you get dealt. And I would be remiss in thinking the meal would be different. But it's the same on me for thinking. But it's shame on me for thinking it would be different. Don't you love the way that I've been able to navigate my words? You don't do that. All right, so Goldberg was upset and frustrated how WWE handled his retirement match and speech. Now, if you all didn't see the ending of Saturday night's main event, Goldberg's speech in the ring was cut off. They had to cut it off because the WWE has rules when they are broadcasting on network television. They have to. They have to. They, excuse me, I'm tongue tied. They have to comply with the rules of the station that they're being broadcast on. They have to. They have to adhere to the rules of the broadcast. So when Goldberg was talking in the ring, and he was talking in the ring, his mic was cut off, and the segment ended very quickly. They couldn't have the entire package in the ring because it's only a second that they had to cut it off. And NBC had to show other shows on 10 o'clock in that time slot. So Goldberg's speech was done. They couldn't broadcast it anymore, and he was upset about that. And the match wasn't built correctly, as Goldberg was saying. It was a 3 week notice that WWE just threw this match together with him and Gunther. And I think WWE did this on purpose because they were just going through the motions with Saturday night's main event. They were putting the show together. They really didn't have any thought of putting a show like this together and everything else. It was put together very rapid fashion when it came to the matches. I mean, it was only 4 matches, but the way that the laissez-faire attitude that came with it, well, I wouldn't have done it like that, but that's the way WWE did it. And they didn't really give, Goldberg says that really the WWE didn't do him justice with the booking and the way that they booked the match. It was only 3 weeks notice that they gave Goldberg. Said, hey, they call him on the phone and they said, hey, we're booking your match for Saturday night's main event, and this is what this is what we're thinking. So I'm gonna just what's up, Earl and Joe? Good Jeffrey, how's it going tonight? Hit the like button, everyone in the charts. Um, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Goldberg needs to understand something here. I understand. I understand his frustration. I understand it to the complicity of it. But you have to look at WWE on their side. Their WWE right now is very busy. They've got their hands in so many events and cookpots. First of all, they got SummerSlam coming. Then they got the Clash in the Paris coming. Then they have the Survivor Series that they're trying to put together as well. Then they have other things going on when it comes to PLEs. So they are very busy when it comes to booking. This Saturday night's main event was done because it's done on their calendar and it's done on their live event calendar, and they have to do it. So I can understand Goldberg saying that they should have built this match up from January. I understand that, but you have to understand WWE. They don't do things like that anymore. They used to, but they don't do that anymore. They believe in, you know, getting through the motion, getting it out, putting the product out, getting the matches done. Let's get that revenue. We got the revenue, and that's all that matters. Nothing else matters in the sense of grand scheme of things when it comes to WWE. All they want is the moolah. That's all they're interested in. That's all TKO wants. That's all Triple H wants to do. They all want that money. So I understand what Goldberg is saying, and I understand how frustrated he was with the creative booking and how they booked the match. I understand it complicitly, but like I said before, I say it again. WWE has to, uh, they have to honor the broadcast wishes, and they can't let the show go on past 10 o'clock because it is a primetime rule that the WWE has to follow. They can't go past a certain hour because there's other shows that the network has to show to the audience. So his retirement speech was cut off. The match itself was booked very quickly, to say none the least. And we're going to get into it later with Saturday night's main event. But the match was booked very quickly. And we all knew Gunther was going to retain. I knew that Gunther was going to retain. I already knew it. So you can't be mad at WWE for what they had to do. You really can't. I can't get mad at them because they have rules to follow. They have rules to follow. They don't want to get a fine from the FCC saying, "Hey, you went over your limit when you wasn't supposed to. We told you this is a two. You told us it's a 2 hour show. Well, make it a 2 hour show. You can't just tell us at the last minute, oh, by the way, we're gonna do 2 hours and 50 minutes. No, you can't do that. Can't do that. Network rules. Can't do that. WWE's hands are tied. They got to do a 2 hour show. They got to get it in, get it out, put it on the screen, and get it out as expeditiously as possible. They can't go past that. So Goldberg needs to understand about television production and rules. Well, let's say exactly, Earl. Yeah. Um. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Dro says, "Hey, Earl, hey, Dro, how's it going tonight?" So let's see what the guy says. Yeah, yeah, it was NBC who cut him off, not WWE. When NBC shows are done, they are done. Yes, exactly. Leslie, how's it going tonight? Hit the like button, Leslie. So that's what I'm driving at. That's what I'm driving at, folks. That's what I'm driving at. Goldberg needs to understand that there are rules that everyone has to follow. If I was in television, and I was doing a show, okay? I'm on the network. And if I'm on the network and I'm showing a show and the network says, okay, let's say for example my show is an hour. Okay, my show is an hour. I can't go past that hour because I'm contractually obligated to put on a show for an hour on television. I can't go past that hour. I can't. So I have to cram everything into one solid hour. So once my 1 hour has elapsed and it's done, the network can do whatever they want. They can cut me off anytime they want because that A is their network, and B, they have to do other things in the realm of the schedule. So that's what Goldberg needs to understand. He has to understand that network rules are rules, and you have to follow it. You can't go past that. You can't overglass the rules of the network. It doesn't work that way. If it's just like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like Tony Khan and AEW. All right, Tony Khan has a relationship with TBS and everything else. Sometimes his show go over, but sometimes there's nothing really on TBS. There's nothing going on. That's TBS, but you can't compare TBS to NBC. NBC has a lot of stuff on their channel. They have a lot of stuff in their network. And if they say a 2 hour show is a 2 hour show, that's it. That's it. You did your 2 hours. That's it, folks. That's it. We got to keep it moving. We got to keep the train moving. So if the match was shorter, then his speech couldn't have been longer. Right, exactly. Charlie sees all. How's it going tonight, Charlie? Hit the like button. Hit the like button, Charlie. Yeah. Okay. But did they upload a full speech on YouTube? I don't know if they did, Jeffrey. I don't. I don't know. I don't know if they did that or not. I'm not quite sure if they did or it didn't. Sure, but it that's what happened. All right, all right, folks. All right, folks. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Tracy's it's going good. Looking forward to SmackDown tomorrow. Yeah, then tomorrow night SmackDown should be interesting. Um, I hit the like. Thank you, Charlie. I greatly appreciate it. Wesley, yes, Earl. Goldberg speech is on WWE YouTube channel. Okay, Wesley, thank you for that. So okay, okay, great. Okay, folks. All right, we're going to rewind right now. WWE Women's Evolution. And this was the best pay per view. This PLE, this women's pay per view PLE, was probably one of the best things I have seen in modern day wrestling. This was absolutely one of the best PLEs I have seen in a vastly long time. And the women brought it, showed it out, and they had it. It was absolutely one of the best PLEs I have seen in a long time. And Evolution 2 was the best show. Yes, it was, Wesley. I mean, Jeffrey, I'm sorry. Jeffrey, yes, that was it was a good. It was good. All right. All right, let's rewind it. Let's rewind it. Let's rewind. All right. Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a no holds barred match. Again, this was absolutely great. Tracy said, yes, it was a very good show. I thought it was fantastic. Okay, I don't know what just happened. I'm sorry, folks. My screen just went crazy there for a second. Um, yeah, the women's evolution was absolutely great. The show was great. The show was fantastic. Um, Earl, did Earl freeze? Yeah, I froze there for a second. Jeffrey, I'm sorry. My screen did a little something was going on there. I don't know why. Um, so when Naomi winning was yeah. We're gonna get to that in a moment. We're gonna get to that draw. Okay, so this was a no holds barred. Yeah, yes, I'm back. right, folks, I do apologize. We had some technical issues, and I was in the middle of talking, and my screen went kaplooey. I don't know what happened, but it was strange. So let me start over again. Jay Cargill took on Naomi. Jay Cargill took on Naomi in a no holds barred match. The match was fine. The match was okay. I liked it. I loved it. Absolutely great. I couldn't have asked for a better match. This was a war between these two women. These two women went to war, and you couldn't have asked for a better match. Bianca was the referee, but she really didn't have any factor in the match. She really didn't. She didn't really get involved too much in the match. She did call it down the middle, and she did give Jade the win. Jade wins the match in one of the most compelling matches I've seen in a long time, in a vastly long time. And what was this? Bianca was a special referee, and Eloise doesn't want to hear you talk about it. No, I don't think so, Jeffrey. So, so yeah, Bianca was conflicted as she raised the hand as she was. Yeah, she did raise the hand to Jade. She was sad about what happened, what transpired between all three of them. But you know what? Here's the thing. That's what happens. That is what happens in wrestling. So so like I said, the match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. And Naomi was, I told Hooligrim the last time he was here, I told my friend Hooligrim that it was imperative that she Jade win the match. That it was very imperative that she win the match, and she did. She did win the match, and she went over Naomi. But that was not the story. That was not the story of Naomi, and as Naomi was not done for the night. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Um, what did Jeffrey say? She hates her. She hates her two friends fighting. Yeah, I understand. I understand complicitly, but that's what happens with friendships. Sometimes you just sometimes things just happen in the moment of the course of life, and you don't want to do what you need to do with a friend, but sometimes you have to. It's it's not what you want to do, but the other person has forced you to do it, and they want to bring out the other side of you. So that is what happened with their friendship. It was fractured. Um, what happened? Yeah, the TV exploded spot by the announce table. Yeah, that was something. Yes, that was dangerous. That spot. And that spot was very dangerous. No, one of them could have been electrocuted with that monitor spot. But again, like I said, the match was fine for what it was. On an entertainment level, I'm gonna give this match. I'm gonna give this match a 9. The match gets a 9 for what it was, and it was as good as it gets. It was good as it gets, and I gave it a 9. All right, Becky Lynch versus Bailey versus Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Okay, folks. Yeah, Jeffrey gave it a 9 too. All right, folks. This triple threat match for the Intercontinental Champ. This was another good one. This was another banger. This was another banger. Becky Lynch did some offensive maneuver to cover the and what she did in the end to retain her title was absolutely a thing of work of art. I like the way she did that. That's sort of like Sunset Flip Fireman's carry over and pinning Lyra Valkyria. I had no issues with the ending. I had no issues with the ending. I thought Becky Lynch did a great job. She brought out the best in all three of these ladies, and the match was fine. The match was hard hitting as ever. It was a royal woolly affair, and both ladies took each other to the limit. All three ladies took each other to the limit for the Intercontinental Championship. Even the crowd, and I have to give it up to the crowd in Atlanta, in the State Farm Arena. This was the first time. Let me just tell you all this. This was the first time in a vastly long time that I have remembered as a wrestling fan. Listen to me carefully. As I remember carefully, the crowd was into every women's match. They never did that before in America. They never did it. They never did it. I have seen Raw. I have seen SmackDown. I have seen house shows where when the women come out on the stage and they're doing a match, everybody is silent. No one is clapping. No one's cheering. No one's doing hooting and hollering. Nothing like that. The place is dead. It's dead. There's no crowd reaction whatsoever to what's going on. And some people look bored. You can look on the face. You can look on their face and you can tell they look bored. They're like, when is this match going to be over with already? Get on to the next show. That's the way they want. That's the attitude that they had towards the women. But this was different. The crowd chanted, "This was awesome. This is wrestling. I mean, it was a shock to the system. This was a shock to the system. The way the fans were reacting to the women PLE. I was completely floored. I was gobsmacked how the audience was reacting to it. I was absolutely in shock. I thought the minute the bell rang, it's gonna be booked in the library. No, I was totally wrong. I was totally wrong, folks. I'm gonna tell you something, folks. I was totally wrong. I was wrong. 110,000% wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong. I am so glad I was wrong. Because this was something else. What did Jeffrey say? Yeah, they were loud and for every match. And Hot Atlanta showed up. And they sure did. They sure did, Jeffrey. What did Jeffrey say? They mostly silent because of the state that they're in sometimes. Yeah, I mean, but Jeffrey, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jeffrey. In every arena that you go into, especially when you do Raw, do you have to be silent in every arena? Do you have to follow what the next arena did? I mean that doesn't make any sense. Don't you have a mind of your own? I mean, if I'm there in the arena and I see women wrestling, I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna cheer. I'm gonna boo. I'm gonna go in there like, oh my God, look what she's doing to her. And I'm like, what is going on here? And I'm gonna question it. I'm a fan. That's what fans do. We boo and we cheer who we like, who we don't like, what we're seeing. I mean, this was just. I mean, this was absolutely one of the best crowds I've ever seen for a women's match. This has to be the crowd in Atlanta, folks. The crowd in Atlanta for me got a triple A across the board. That crowd was absolutely red hot. They were passionate and they were creative all at the same time. And that is what you're supposed to do in a women's wrestling match. If you don't like the heel, boo the heel. If you like the baby face, then cheer on the baby face. Because these women come out of the curtain and they bust their ass, just like a man does. Bust their ass to entertain you. And the least you can do is show some gratitude towards them. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If somebody is out there performing, like say for example, if you go to a concert and you saw Madonna or you saw Janet Jackson performing on the stage. Don't you want to cheer for that? Don't you want to cheer for Janet? She's out there doing her 2 hour show. She's on the stage. She's singing, dancing for you. And you, what are you going to sit on your hands and just look at? Oh, yeah, she's coming out. She's going to sing Control. Okay, she's singing Control. No, no, get up and dance. Show her some gratitude. The woman comes from a different arena. Show her some gratitude. Show her some love. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Agreed 100%, Earl. Absolutely. Right. Like, make some noise. Exactly. They should have Evolution in Atlanta permanently. I agree. I agree. I agree. All right, let's go back to the match, folks. Let's go back to the match. I got lost there. I'm sorry. So Becky Lynch retains. Yeah, I guarantee I'm gonna cheer Janet. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jeffrey, because here's the thing. If she comes out there and she's on there for 2 hours, and let's say she's out there for 2 hours and 45 minutes. All right, she's out there for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and she's giving you nonstop hits after hits after hits. Don't you want to cheer for Janet? Don't you want to show her some gratitude? This woman is singing and dancing for you for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Show her some love. She's giving you hit after hit after hit after hit. I mean, come on. You can't get no better than that for your bottom dollar. Come on now. That's all I'm saying, folks. That's all I'm saying. So Becky Lynch retains. Becky Lynch retains. And retains she did in this triple threat match against Lyra Valkyria. Yep. So Becky Lynch retained and she moved on. She moved on in the program. I'm going to give this triple threat match, I'm going to give it a solid 7 in the entertainment level. The match gets a solid 7 in the entertainment level, and that is the best thing I can do for it. It was a good match. It was a good triple threat match, and preach. Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. And it was good for what it was. So I gave it a solid. I gave it a solid on that. All right, let's move on. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Sol Ruka and Zara for the women and the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag team championship. The match was great. Another banger. Another fatal four way. This was a fatal four way. I'm going to tell you something, folks. I don't know who booked this match, but boy, oh boy, they did it justice. This match was absolutely fantastic. This fatal four way was fantastic. These ladies were like Hellcats. They wanted that tag team belt. They wanted something changing hands. But in the end, Raquel and Roxanne retained the title. And it was great. Everybody took each other to the limit. Everybody played their part well in the match. Great nuance, great chemistry in the ring. It was great. It was great. Another crowd, and the crowd was like, "Win! This is awesome." I've never seen a women's tag team, and this was a first in women's tag team championship match history that the crowd chanted, "This is awesome." The crowd chanted, "This was awesome," and it blew me away. It blew me away. Because normally in a women's tag team title match, they are not cheering for this. They're like, can we get this over with already? I am bored to tears. Not this crowd. Oh, not this crowd. Oh, no, 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 no. Not this crowd. They were not bored to tears. They souped up every nuance, every back fist, everything Asuka did, everything Kyrie Singh did, everything Zara did, everything Sol Ruka did, everything that was done in this match. The crowd souped it up, and they really and truly sucked that whole thing up like it was a sponge. They really and truly were thirsty for this match. and they were invested in it, and it made my heart grow fonder as a wrestling fan because I was invested too. I was taken on a ride with the audience, and I was a part of it. I really wish I was there in Atlanta because I would have felt that energy and I would have felt that love from that audience because I'm going to tell you something. This was fantastic. This was fantastic. This is what you need to have a chemical element to the match because it makes the match more exciting when the audience is involved and invested in it. It makes the match more compelling to what it is and bring it up to the crescendo that it is. And it was great. It was great. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Atlanta, and thank you, WWE. This match, I give this match a 10 in the entertainment level. The match gets a 10. The match gets a 10. And that's the best I can do for it. This was great. This was great. Great stuff by WWE. Great production. Great produced. And it was well thought out and well cared for. Everybody was careful in the match. Nobody was hot dogging or there was no botches or anything like that. This was done great. This was done correctly. And what did Jeffrey say? Yeah, 10 for me too. Yeah, this match was a 10. The match was a 10. The match was a Jeffrey said Zara separated Sol Ruka by act. Oh that was a little kink in the I forgot about that part. There was a little kink in the arm of the match. It wasn't as smooth as I thought it was going to be. Jeffrey did point that out. Thanks, Jeffrey. And what else did Jeffrey say? Charlotte got hit with Soul Snatcher too. Yeah, that she got hit with the yeah. Becky Lynch and Bailey brought out the aggression out of Lyra too. Yes, they did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, Jeffrey. Yeah. The match gets a 10. The match gets a 10. And this was great. This was great. This was some good stuff. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Tiffany Stratton took on Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. Another great match. This probably was Tiffany Stratton's best match. She went toe to toe with Trish. And from what I read from PW Insider, they're not done with Trish. Trish says that she wants some more matches in WWE. And I don't blame her because Trish looks good. Trish looked great. She didn't miss a beat in the match. She went toe to toe with Tiffany Stratton, and she really held her own in the match. I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever. Tiffany and Trish were really they versus each other for the first time ever. It felt like these two were wrestling 10 years ago. That's the way it felt. I mean, these women were just absolutely they were great. This was great. Great stuff, Tiffany and Trish. I liked it. And they brought out the best in one another. At one point in the match, I thought Trish was going to become a champion again. And it was great. It was great. She brought out the best in Tiffany. Tiffany brought out the best in Trish. And we got a chemical element of a great match. I loved it. I loved it. Absolutely great. Dro says Trish is a goat. Yes, she is. Yes, she is, Dro. Trish is still solo in 25 years, glorious years. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And Trish was great. And like I said before, I'll say it again, guys. Trish was great. Trish was great. This was great. This was absolutely a good match. And on an entertainment level, I'm gonna give this match a 9. The match gets a 9. The match gets a 9. And I loved it. I loved it. 9 across the board for me. This was a 9. And Tiffany wins with a beautiful moonsault from the top rope and pin Trish. And she retained the title. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So The women's battle royal shot at Clash of the Paris. This was a good thing. Stephanie Vacour wins the battle royal and she goes to Clash in the Paris as the number one contender. This was great. Another great thing. The Devil's Kiss and of course Queen Aminata try to rip off Stephanie Vacour with that stupid. It just ridiculous. Um, you think Trish is getting her eighth title reign? No, well, I don't know about that. I had Stephanie Vacour winning, but I had Lash as close second. Okay, yeah, Stephanie wins the yeah. What is she saying? And Queen Aminata is tired. Yes, she is. She's tired. Um. All right. This was great. The women's battle royal was great. Stephanie Vacour wins the battle royal. She goes on to Clash in the Paris in August, and I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this at all. I wish Stephanie good luck in her match in August when they go to Paris, France. I don't have a problem with this. I'm sure the match is going to be great because the crowd in Paris, they're absolutely fantastic. They love women's wrestling too. They'll suck that up like a sponge. No doubt about it. They'll show the women love in that match. Um, on an entertainment level, I'm gonna give the battle royal a 7. I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. It was a good battle royal. It was good. And Stephanie Vacour deserved it. She deserves it. Good stuff. All right. All right. Let's continue. Let us continue. Let's see. Battle royal. Okay. JC Jane versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. Another good match. Another good match. Would Stephanie Vacour and Stephanie McMahon, and yes, and Stephanie, two Stephanies were in the ring, and it was great. Yeah, Stephanie McMahon was good. And by the way, Stephanie McMahon looks fantastic for her age. She really does. She's taking care of herself. She has kids. Stephanie McMahon looks fantastic. She don't age a bit. She looks great. She had energy. She came out on that stage and she spinned around for the audience. The music hit. She got a big pop when she came out of the curtain. Every time Stephanie comes out of that curtain and she comes there, that energy is going up to the roof. Nobody will ever forget Stephanie McMahon. I mean, she's great. Stephanie looks great. And she sits in the audience, she sits with the fans, and you see her having a good time. She's always have a smile on her face. You see her laughing with other people and dignitaries at ringside. Stephanie is great. I'm not gonna knock Stephanie McMahon. She looks fantastic. If I ever meet her again, Stephanie, I'm gonna tell her, I said, Stephanie, you look fantastic. You look fantastic. You really look fantastic. You really do. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Stephanie looks great. I really do. I miss Stephanie on TV. Well, Stephanie sits behind the scenes now. She's got her own podcast and everything else. She interviews the greatest behind the scenes. And I like Stephanie. I really do. All right. Um so JC Jane and Jordan Grace. The match was fine. The match was great. By the way, I don't know if you all saw, but that woman from from AEW was involved in the match. Yeah, I like her on NXT now. I don't remember her name now. I wish I could remember her name in AEW. She was feuding with Tony Storm and everything. Yes, now she's on NXT, and yeah, I knew Blake Monroe was gonna turn. Yeah, Blake Monroe, ladies and gentlemen, that's her name. Blake Monroe turned, and She helped her retain the title. Blake Monroe, that's her name. Thank you, Jeffrey. Blake Monroe interfered in the match, and she gave Jordan Grace, and Jordan Grace retains the NXT Women's Championship. Yeah, Mariah May. That was her name in AEW. That was her name, Mariah May. That's her name. That. Thank you, Jeffrey, for that. Jordan Grace was pissed. Yeah, well, JC Jane remained a NXT Women's Championship. All right, folks. All right. On an entertainment level, I'm gonna give this match. I'll give this match a 7. I'll give this match a 7. The match gets a 7. It was good for what it was. Nice, nice stuff by the ladies, and the twist at the end really brought it home for me. And yeah, I'll give the match a 7 in the entertainment level. All right, folks, we are up to the main event of Evolution. Um, Now JC Jane is gonna face Masha at Slammiversary. Yeah, and by the way, everyone, Slammiversary is this Sunday at the UBS Arena in Long Island, New York. And from what I understand, it's almost sold out. Well, it is sold out, I think, and they had to add extra seats. So I'm not sure if those extra seats are gone, but they are available now at Ticketmaster.com. Title for title. Oh, okay, cool. All right, folks. We're up to the main event of Evolution. And let me tell you something, folks. This main event of Evolution was probably one of the best main events in modern day women's wrestling history. This main event was so compelling and so physically hard hitting. It was funny. And they added this element to it that I'm going to discuss in just a minute. Okay. Rhea Ripley took on Io Sky for the women's championship. This was absolutely woolly, wild, and all over the place. These ladies brought it. The crowd popped every time these ladies did a drop kick, a head scissor, a DDT, a body slam. This main event was so chemically invested in it. What I mean by that is chemically invested, meaning the audience was so into it that they were just wanted to see more. I wanted to see more of this because this was really good. This main event was the best way to close the show. This main event was absolutely flawless. This main event was flawless. This main event was flawless. I mean, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley really tore the house down, literally. And at one point, Io Sky accidentally missile drop kicked Jessica Carr out of the ring. Jessica Carr was wiped out in the match, and she was wiped out on the arena floor. So Jessica Carr took her first bump as a referee, as a woman, and she got drop kicked by Io Sky by accident. Um, Rhea Ripley moved out of the way, and Io Sky drop kicked Jessica Carr by accident and bumped her out of the ring. So we had no referee. We had no referee. And these ladies went on the floor. They brawled on the floor. They brawled in the broadcast area. They brawled with the audience. They brawled back into the ring. They brawled, they brawled, they brawled, they brawled. Jessica Carr comes to, and I thought at one point Io Sky was going to retain. But no, what happened in the middle of the match was another thing that nobody saw coming. Naomi's music hits, and she comes down to the ring with another official, and says that this now is a triple threat, which means no disqualification. She used the briefcase on Io Sky. She used the briefcase on Io Sky, took Rhea Ripley, and threw her into the ring post. Rhea Ripley went shoulder first into the ring post and onto the arena floor. And then she did that split-legged thing she do from the top rope and pinned Io Sky, and she became the new women's championship. This was absolutely flawless. This was a thing of beauty. I didn't predict this at all. None of this sequence. I didn't predict it at all. And I'm glad I was wrong in my prediction. Because this was absolutely well thought out, well written, well versed, and well put together. Nobody, and I don't know, maybe other people did see it. Maybe other people did see it. I can't speak for other people. Maybe other people saw it. But for me, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this cash in coming. I did not think that Naomi would focus on Io Sky. I didn't think that was going to happen, but that's exactly what happened. That's what she did. So she used the briefcase, she cashed it in, she used it on Io Sky, and we have a new champion. This was how you close Revolution. Great way to end Revolution, and I loved it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jeffrey said, split-legged moonsault. Yep, that's what she used. Naomi told us all to proceed with caution. She did. She sure did. What was that? What did Jeffrey say? I didn't think so. I didn't think so either because she heard the previous match, so we forgot about. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Yeah. This was Rhea and Io's best match they ever. Yes, they did. I agree with that. So, folks, this was great. This was a great main event. I'm going to tell you this much, folks. I I'm glad I didn't call this match because I would have been breathless. I would have been breathless. And now Naomi is a three-time women's champion. Yes, she is. This was great. This was a flawless cash in. This cash in was like I said before, I'll say it again. You didn't think that she would focus on Io Sky. Everybody thought, oh, she's gonna, even me, I was fooled. I said, oh, she's gonna go after Tiffany. She's gonna cash it in on Tiffany, and so I bought into it. But boy, when WWE flips the script on you, that's what they do, folks. That is what they love and do. And Naomi has more power than Jade now. Yes, she does. Yes, she does, bro. Now Naomi, yeah. So on an entertainment level, folks, this main event, I really wish I can give this 100. I really wish I can give this 100. I really wish I can give this 100. I really wish in the entertainment level I can give this 100. But I'm going to give this match a 10. This main event was a 10. 10, 10, 10, 10 across the board. This match was fantastic. I gave it 100. Yeah, I wish I could. I really wish I could. This cash in mirrors Seth Rollins heist of the, yes. Yes. And as you all heard the announcement on Monday Night Raw, we're going to dial this back again. So Naomi at SummerSlam will defend her title against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, and we're going to do it part number two. We're going to do part number two, this triple threat match. I don't think that they're going to top this. They can't. They can't top what they did at Evolution. They just can't. I mean, you can't top it. You can't top it. I don't know how you're gonna top it because this was great. This was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, don't forget the shout out the legends attending. Yeah, Jazz, Jacqueline Moore, Molly Holly, Tori Wilson, Melina, Ivory, and Alani Kai. Yeah, they were all there. All the legends were there, including Vicky Guerrero. Vicky Guerrero was there as well, along with all of the legends that were in the house, and Tori Wilson. I bet Seth I bet Seth will cash in next year before the money in the bank. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Seth Rollins, bro, in just a second. Um, so, folks, that was women's evolution. Folks, that was women's evolution. What a great pay per view. Fantastic. What a great pay per view. All right. Mhm. All right, folks. All right. What did Jeffrey say? I'm gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna go back and watch Evolution 2 again. Great show by the women. Yeah, you can go back and watch that. I mean, it's all on Peacock. You can go back and watch it. Even when I didn't stream it, folks. I didn't stream it, but you can go back and watch it on Peacock. You can go back and watch it. All right, folks. And again, I want to thank you all in the wrestling community for participating on my show this past Saturday. I mean, I streamed from 2:50 in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night, and you all really showed up and showed out. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you all for doing that. I want to thank you for all the views, the likes, and everything else. You all were fantastic on Saturday night. You stuck by me and you supported me, and I want to thank you for doing that. I had a lot of fun with that telecast and that stream. And it's probably not going to be the last time I do something like that. It probably won't. But I'm going to tell you something. I had fun doing it. I had fun doing it. Calling all those matches, folks, was absolutely it was just great. It was fun for me to do it for you because you all are a great wrestling community and you all are great fans. And I'm a fan just like you are. And I was compelled on the edge of my seat with every match that I was calling, every nuance that I brought to the table and everything else. And I had fun doing it. So again, on the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you all for watching my stream this past Saturday. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. You all are fabulous at what you do. And I can't do this without you. I cannot do this show like the Wrestling Experience, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. I can't do these shows without you. I can't. It's just not it's just not there. Without you in the chats, without you at home watching or anybody watching, I can't do this without you. I really can, and I respect you. You have no idea how much respect that I have for my viewers and my people in the chat, and how much I love them and respect their opinions and everything else. I really and truly say thank you again for watching my shows. And like I said, all of my shows are on my channel All you have to do, folks, is go on my channel, go back and watch it and like it, subscribe to it, and go back and rewind it, and you'll see the emotions that I put into each and every match that I call every night on Raw, every Wednesday on Dynamite, every Thursday. And as we talk about wrestling on the Wrestling Experience, and then I give it to you again on Friday. So, except for this Friday, I'm taking the day off because of the long stream that I had this past Saturday. I'm taking the night off on Friday. You all could enjoy SmackDown. I'm going to enjoy it from the comfort of my own home, and you all can watch it. I'll be back next Friday for SmackDown. But you all are great. You all are great. Dro says we all appreciate you. Well, thank you so much, Dro. Thank you, Dro. Jeffrey says we appreciate you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. I'm gonna go back on. Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. Saturday night's main event. Let's talk about Saturday night's main event for a second. Let's talk about it. Randy Orton took on Drew McIntyre with Jelly Roll in the mix, and Drew McIntyre and Jelly Roll, if you will. All right. So we had Orton. I had Orton defeat Drew McIntyre, and that's exactly what happened. Jelly Roll was in the corner of Orton. And of course, Drew McIntyre, he was a sore loser. And of course, he brought out, he brought out, and then all of a sudden, Logan Paul showed up. Jelly Roll and Logan Paul got into it. And then all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre claymores Jelly Roll and knocked him unconscious. And Jelly Roll sold that well, by the way. He sold the claymore very well. Did you see him on Jimmy Kimmel last night? He put Logan Paul through a table. He put Logan Paul through a table. I saw the viral video. And now these guys are in a tag match at SummerSlam. So it's going to be Jelly Roll and Randy Orton taking on Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Yeah, he did sold it. He did. He sold it well. The Claymore. He did. Okay, so that's what happened with that match. On an entertainment level, I'll give the match a 6. The match gets a 6. The match gets a 6. And it was good for what it was. It really was good for what it was. All right, let's move on. The United States Championship match: Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa. So, what was that? I seen the clips of the choke slam too. Logan Paul threw there. He smacked Jelly Roll, and Jelly Roll put him through a table. He put Logan Paul through a table. Did Jelly Roll? I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Fantastic stuff. Orton went in the back with McIntyre, and then Jelly Roll was confronted by Logan Paul. Logan Paul smacked Jelly Roll, and Jelly Roll put him through a table. He put him through a table. He sure did. All right. All right. United States Championship match. Solo Sikoa took on Jimmy Uso. The match was again. You know that was. Where was Jimmy Kimmel? Jimmy Kimmel's on vacation. Jeffrey. Um, this match with Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. I knew this match was going to be full of shenanigans. Didn't I say this match was full of shenanigans? I knew it. Knew the match was going to be shenanigans. Jimmy Uso lost to Solo Sikoa thanks to the faction. So Solo Sikoa retains the United States Championship. On an entertainment level, I'm going to give this match a 4. The match gets a 4. The match gets a 4. Shenanigans across the border. Yes, sure was. The match gets a 4. The match gets a 4. the match was a four. I knew the match was going to be marred in shenanigans. I already knew it. I already knew it. There was just no way I was going to. There was no other way to go about it. Okay. LA Knight took on Seth Rollins. LA Knight and Seth Rollins. Now, originally, this match was supposed to, I believe it's supposed to go the other way. Rollins was supposed to defeat Knight, but what happened in the match was terrible for Seth Rollins. During the match, Rollins did a split. He was trying to do what I call a moonsault from the second rope. And Seth landed awkwardly on his leg, and he says the knee popped, and he felt something pop in the knee, and he felt something going haywire with his leg. So Seth Rollins was down in the corner. They had to call an audible, and of course, LA Knight wins the match in quick fashion so that Rollins could hurry up and get to the back. And Rollins was caught on viral video, on several viral videos, cussing because he was in so much pain from the match. The leg was swollen, the knee was burning, and everything else. So Rollins was really in bad shape when they took him to the back. Now, he went to Birmingham, Alabama. He went to Birmingham, Alabama. They couldn't do the MRI that they wanted to do on Rollins because his leg was so badly swollen from the previous night that they couldn't control the swelling. So the MRI came out inconclusive because of the leg. So Rollins has to go back to LA. So Rollins was in LA and he was on a show and he said that he felt the knee pop and he felt that something was wrong. And he knew that this was going to be what it is. So Rollins is going to get another MRI done in Los Angeles, and it's going to be determined how long Rollins is going to be out for. Now, this could be either one or two things. Rollins could either get a knee rebuildment, his knee is going to get rebuilt, or is it a straight up knee surgery? We don't know. We don't know. We cannot speculate exactly what is going to go on with it. But what we do know is Rollins is saying now that he probably won't be back until WrestleMania. And it's a shame. It's a shame that Rollins has to be out that long. But this is wrestling, folks. This is wrestling. And Rollins needs to get that MRI done, and he needs to get it done immediately. Um, some knee injury from 2015. Yes. Okay, folks. So that's what happened to Rollins. That is what happens to Rollins, and he's going to be on the shelf indefinitely. And I know some of you all were saying, "Oh, he's going to come back," and no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not going to come back that fast from a knee injury. We don't know the severity of the knee. Rollins is on crutches now. He has to go to the doctor and he has to get it done. And I believe sometime, I think on July 23rd, I heard. I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but on July 23rd, um, Seth has until June to, yeah, he has until June to cash in that money in the bank. I'm not worrying about the money in the bank. I'm worrying about Seth's health. And that's the most important thing. Don't worry about that briefcase. That can come later. Seth's health is important here. Getting back to what I was saying, I believe on June 23rd or 25th or something like that, I think that they're finally going to do the surgery for Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has been waiting to see when he's going to get that next surgery, and I believe he's getting it done at the end of July. So Seth Rollins is going to be on the shelf, and so is Kevin Owens, and we wish them both the best of health. We really do, and we hope to see both of them back in the WWE ring in a not so distant future. So get healed up and better, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And by the way, everyone, to get yeah, right, health is important. Absolutely, absolutely. And by the way, folks, just to go back to Saturday night's main event for a second. Well, I'll go back to that in a minute. I'll go back to that in a minute. All right, so that's what happened with Rollins. All right, the heavyweight championship match is up next. This is the main event. Goldberg took on Gunther. The match was fine. The match was fine for what it was. This probably was Goldberg's best outing to date. This was probably his best outing to date against Gunther. And ladies and gentlemen, just to let everybody know, that 61-year-old Charles Robinson, who always officiates Goldberg's matches, got speared by Goldberg to the point where his ribs were cracked. So 61-year-old Charles Robinson got his rib cracked in the match when he was speared by accident by Goldberg. And we wish Charles Robinson the best. He's a tough cookie. He's a little tough cookie, Charles Robinson. He's always getting injured in matches at 61. He still takes bumps at 61. And Charles, we really wish you the best of luck. He showed the x-ray on Instagram, and you could see the rib, one of his ribs was cracked from the spear. So we wish Charles the best. He said he'll be on SmackDown. I hope he's not physically going to be involved in a match. I hope he's not going to do that. I hope he stays in the back and work with the team in the back and everything else. Don't get in the ring, Charles. We don't need to see any more injuries to you. You are a treasure in WWE. You're an icon, and you belong in the WWE Hall of Fame. You certainly do. Good luck to Charles Robinson. I hope he gets better soon. Um, so yeah, poor Charles. Speedy recovery. Yeah, speedy recovery to Charles Robinson. Um, so um, Goldberg. This was Goldberg's best match to date. Gunther went over Goldberg, and I just said before, I'll say it again, folks. That's yeah. I hope Charles Robinson's okay. Yeah, he's gonna be fine, bro. He's gonna be fine. He has to heal those ribs. He has to heal that cracked rib. That's what he has to do. He can't. He should not be refereeing for the foreseeable future until those ribs get healed. He's got to heal those cracked ribs. He got to heal that cracked rib. Um. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so Goldberg and Gunther went to war for the title, and Gunther went over Goldberg, putting him to sleep, and that was the end of the night for Goldberg. And then he made an emotional speech in the ring, and they had to cut it off. So that was it. That was it. And on an entertainment level, I'm gonna give this match an 8. The match gets an 8. I give the main event an 8. That's the best I can do for it. Yeah. Okay, folks. So the main event was an 8. All right, so I give it an 8. All right, folks. Yeah, I gave it an 8 too. Yeah. All right, folks. That was Saturday night's main event. That was Saturday night's main event. All right. All right, folks. We're going to go now to rewind all in Texas. Globe Life Field and AEW. The show drew over 25,000 people. Not bad. Not bad. The show drew over 25,000 people. But for the love of Peter, what happened to the audience? The audience was so dead in this arena. I don't know what happened to the audience in Texas, but boy, oh boy, this crowd was, woo boy, this crowd was very hard to please. I mean, this crowd was so silent and non-energy. I mean, it was just, I don't know what happened to the crowd. There was no crowd noise whatsoever. I mean, they popped in here, but that was about it. Yeah, all in Texas, great show, but the crowd was mid. Yeah, the crowd was mid. I don't know what happened to the crowd, folks. I don't know what happened to the crowd. I don't know what was going on with that crowd, but boy, oh boy, oof, they took all the fun out of the show. They really did. They sucked the fun vibes out of the show. I don't know what happened to that crowd, but that crowd was just no bueno. I gave the crowd an F. Crowd was an F, a straight up F in failure. I mean, if you come to a show, all right, let's say for example, you go to a WrestleMania, all right? Let's say a WrestleMania was taking place in I'll name a let's name a stadium. Let's say all right. I'll say the Hoosier Dome. Okay, no Hoosier Dome is no more, but I don't know if the Hoosier Dome is anymore. But let's just say it's the Hoosier Dome. All right, you go to WrestleMania. It's 78,000 people. Do you mean to tell me that 78,000 plus people are going to remain silent for WrestleMania? Are you nuts? Especially if you're getting it 2 nights. Are you nuts? You're going to sit there and spend all that money to come to the arena just to be silent? That's a waste of money. It's just like if the crowd in MetLife Stadium for SummerSlam was silent. Are you serious? You're going to stay there and be silent for 2 nights? You're getting SummerSlam, folks. You don't know when you're going to get this event again. I mean, come on. Show some life. What happened to the crowd? My gosh. It was like pulling teeth with the audience. It was like, what are you like? What's the matter? Like, are you not alive? It's like, what are you looking? I mean, this was just no bueno. I gave the crowd a straight F. That crowd was awful. That has to be one of the worst pay-per-view crowds in a large stadium like that ever. I've never, ever, ever, ever see a crowd dead like that than I saw in that crowd. That crowd was dead. All of the matches should have been booked in the library. All of it. Because the crowd was not non-existent. The crowd was non-existent. Are you not Oliver? Jimmy said that was unheard of in a silence for WrestleMania. Yeah, I know. I'm just making it. This is why I watch NXT Great American Bash, Saturday Night's Main Event, and Evolution first. Yeah, I understand, Jeffrey. I got it. Yeah. Are you not alive? That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. All right, folks, let's go through the card. Let's go to the card. FTR took on the Outrunners. This was a pre-show match. It was all right for what it was. The FTR wins with Stokely Hathaway interfering in the match. Not really, not really to write home about. FTR and the Outrunners to kick off the show to try to pump the crowd up, which didn't help any. Um, I gave this match a 2. The match gets a 2 in the entertainment level. Would I want to see it again? No. Um, we know FTR was gonna win. Yeah. Um, yeah. The match gets a two. That's the best I can do for it. And like I said, do I want to see it again? No. Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration versus Don Callis family. Again, here's the thing with this AJ Boom and all this big AJ. Tony Khan loves AJ. And he wants him on the pre-show every time to entertain the audience. Why do we need to see that? Tony Khan, you have to stop with this fan obsession over people. You really and truly have to stop with this fan obsession with these people. You cannot have this man on every pre-show match. You cannot have this man on every pre-show match. I mean, this is ridiculous. Every time I turn on the pre-show, he's involved in a match. I'm like, why? Why? He don't need to be on there. But you're so fan hog and obsession with this man. It's ridiculous. It's just really off-putting. I don't need to have him in the match. Really, it was not necessary. Yeah, nobody cares. That's right, Jeffrey. Nobody cares. Yeah, let's skip. Yeah, oh God, not Big Boom. Let's skip. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's why I don't watch the zero. Now no. I mean, Tony Khan, you gotta do better than this. I'm not even gonna bother with this match. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm just gonna. I'm not. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother. All right. The Son of Tears, Texas, and the Von Erichs versus Shane Taylor promotion. The match was all right. Match was fine. Another ho hum pre-show match. Uh, Match gets a two. Match gets a two. All right, let's move on, folks. The women's casino gauntlet match. Now we're up to the main. Now we're up to the main card. All right, the women's casino gauntlet match. I thought it was a good gauntlet match. The ladies brought it on the show. I thought it was fantastic. Athena winning the match. I had no problem with her winning. She could be a two-time champion if she wins the belt. I hope not, but we'll have to see. Let's not get drunk with belts and putting it on people. Mercedes. Anyway, um, so Athena wins the match, and I liked it. Yeah, what did Jeffrey say? Yeah, no, we're talking the women's casino gauntlet. Yeah, the women's casino gauntlet. Yeah, Athena winning was a great choice. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so Athena wins the match. Athena's the number one contender. She wins the gauntlet match. I had no problem with it. No problem with it whatsoever. Good stuff by Athena. Congratulations. The men's casino gauntlet match. And MJF wins the men's gauntlet match. And he threw Mark Briscoe out of the ring and he got the win. I didn't have a problem with it either. We all knew MJF was going to win that gauntlet match. I already knew it. The minute MJF was involved in the gauntlet match, I was like, there's no way nobody else is winning this match. So MJF wins the gauntlet match. Okay, that was good. And on an entertainment level, I gave the match a six. Match gets a six. The women's gauntlet match, I gave a six too. So both matches get six across the board. It was all right. All right, let's move on. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. This was great. Yeah, MJF winning was predictable. Yeah, I mean, this was a no-brainer. All right, this tag team match, the Young Sucks will take on Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. The match was fine. The match was fantastic. I loved the tag team match. And of course, if you all didn't hear the announcement, Will Ospreay is out indefinitely with multiple injuries that he sustained between the match, the tag match, and then what the Death Riders did to him on the arena floor. Well, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Um, so Ospreay and Strickland win the match over the Bucks. The Bucks are no longer EVPs, and it was a joy to see. It was a joy to see. Yesterday they arrived on Dynamite in an Uber. No more limo, and their dressing room was a shoebox. They got a shoebox for a dressing room. By the way, everyone, just to let everybody know, Tony Khan. This is what Tony Khan did. And this was funny to me. I thought this was funny. I thought this was funny. He told the Young Bucks, "You're gonna have to dress in the production room." He told the Young Bucks, "You gotta dress in the production room." You gotta dress with production. Those are the ring boys. Those are the ring crew. That's their room where they go get dressed so they can put the arena thing. Oh my God. Oh, oh God, I'm in tears. Oh, oh my God, I'm in tears. Oh my Lord. Oh Lord. Penthouse Cero Nieto, how's it going tonight? Hit the like button. Hello, Penta. How's it going, Penta? Oh my God. There's a production. This is the most I've ever seen you laugh. Hit the like button if you like that joke. If you like that joke, hit the like button. Oh my God. Holy cow. Holy cow. Yes, Penta. Holy cow. Oh God, that was funny. Oh my God. Oh boy. That happened, folks. See? That's what you get. That's what Tony. See, that is what you get when you power drive the owner of the company. You see, that is what you get. That's what you get for doing that. And production room box. Yep, that's karma. That's what it is, folks. That's karma. That's karma. Oh my God, that was funny. Oh my Lord, that was funny. They were looking for the signs, and Tony Khan says, "Well, you're dressing in the production room." Oh, oh, it couldn't have happened to a better tag team. Anyway, folks, so first Strickland, Will Ospreay, and the Bucks. I gave this match an 8. Oh, give this match an 8. This match, you should have clipped that moment, Earl. I know. I should have. I should have because it was. Oh God. Oh my God. Holy cow. Holy cow, folks. Holy cow. Did you see what happened during the entrance on the? Yeah, I saw that too. Holy cow. Holy cow. That was funny. Anyway, folks. Anyway, folks. Um, so the Bucks lose the match. The match gets an 8 for me. The tag team match gets an 8. All right. The Ops versus the Death Riders for the trios title. This was great. This was great. You should have clipped that. Yeah, I know. I know. I should have. You should have definitely clipped that. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I messed up. I messed up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was one of those moments where you just I'm sorry, but you Oh God. Holy cow, folks, holy cow. Anyway, folks, anyway, getting back to the rewind bit, the Ops took on the Death Riders. This was a good match. This was good. This was good. As we all know, Samoa Joe has been written off AEW TV. Excuse me, folks. Let me just. Oh man, sorry about that. Um, they should have. They should have. They should have. The Ops win the match, and they kept the trios titles. And Samoa Joe was written off of TV after the Death Riders attacked him. So that happened on All In. So the match was fine for what it was. I liked the match. I thought the match was good for what it was. But I want to see it again? No. I'm done with that. On the entertainment level, I'm going to give this match a 6. The match gets a 6 for me, and it was good for what it was. It was good. Ops retained. Yep, Ops retained, and it was good. It was great. It was great. Um, um, yeah. So the match gets a 7 for me, and the Ops retained. All right, all right. Adam Cole and Kyle Fletcher. Now, Adam Cole and this match did not take place. Um, Adam Cole suffered a concussion, as everybody knows, and Adam Cole will be out indefinitely on the show. And we wish Adam Cole the best of health. And Dustin Rhodes won the vacated TNT Championship in an emotional match for Dustin. And congratulations to Dustin Rhodes. Um, yeah, speedy recovery for Adam Cole. Yeah, speedy recovery to Adam Cole. All right. So that happened. All right, the Hurt Syndicate versus Jet Speed versus the Patriarch for the AEW Tag Team titles. This was great. This was great. Lots of injuries for wrestlers. Yes, Jeffrey. So this was the Hurt Syndicate. The Hurt Syndicate remained AEW Tag Team Championship. The match was fine for what it was. It was a lot, but what happened afterwards was absolutely fantastic. Icing on the cake. Nick Wayne turned on Nick Wayne turned on Christian, and then all of a sudden Edge shows up. He comes out to a huge ovation from the audience. The crowd finally woke up after they saw Adam Copeland come out, and this was a thing of beauty. And Adam Copeland told Christian to find himself, and after that was done. So The match was all right for what it was, and I'm gonna give this match a 7. The match gets a 7 in the entertainment level. I thought it was fine. I knew that they were gonna retain. I knew they were gonna retain. Yes, I've been wanting Nick Wayne to turn on Christian. Yeah, I was happy about that. I was happy about that. That he finally got away from Christian and he's his own person now, and he's with his mom and he's with Kip Sabian. I don't have a problem with it. All right, Kenny Omega versus Okada to unify the Continental and International title. This was another banger. This was another banger. Kenny Omega had a lot of injuries in this match as well, and he's going to be out again. But Kenny Omega really took Okada to the limit. Okada, when the smoke was cleared, Don Callis interfered and pulled the referee out and stepped on him. And Tony Khan said in the media scrum afterwards, if this was Continental rules, you would have been fired, Don Callis. He said he would have fired Don Callis, but the match was not contested under those rules. So now Tony Khan has said, and he made an edict, he says from now on, Okada's newly won belt is going to be contested on the Continental rules, which means that nobody can interfere for Okada. Okada must defend the title by himself without any outside help. And if anyone helps Okada retain the title, they will be fired on the spot. So that's what Tony Khan laid down in the media scrum. So that I'm glad for that. I'm glad for that. Yeah, banger after banger. Yep. So this was a good match. This was good. These guys went to war with each other, and I'm gonna give this match a 9. The match gets a 9 for me. The match gets a 9. It was a banger. It was a banger. It was a banger. All right. Um, Tony Storm took on Mercedes Moné for the women's world title. And I'm going to tell you this much, folks. What was that? About time TK became authority figure. Absolutely, Jeffrey. I was just like, I cannot believe Tony Khan finally woke up and be a boss. I was just like, I was. This was the Tony Khan I always wanted to see. This is the Tony Khan I want to see. I don't want to see fanboy Tony Khan. I want Tony Khan the boss. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Tony Khan. That's the Tony Khan I want showing up every time. That's the show. Yeah. Yeah, Mercedes versus Tony Storm was a great yes. We're gonna talk about that. Tony Storm took on Mercedes Moné for the women's world title. Now, folks, I said this on my last show. If this match went the other way, and I saw Mercedes win this match over Tony Storm and she'd get that belt, I was not watching AEW again. I was not going to, and I meant it. I meant it because you're making a mockery out of the title changes, and I can't be a fan of that. I can't be a fan of that. I cannot be a fan of it. I'm sorry, I just can't. So Tony Storm, Tony Storm, what Jeffrey said? Dro says, I hope no injuries happen on SmackDown tomorrow night. No, I hope not, Dro. Hope not. Um, so Tony Storm and Mercedes really and truly brought it. But in the end, Tony Storm from the top rope with Storm Zero, and she put away Mercedes. And I was happy about it. Mercedes Moné took her first pinfall loss in AEW, and I was very happy about it. I was very happy that Tony Storm retained. I did not want to see it go any other way than that, and I wouldn't have settled for less. Tony Storm remained your AEW Women's Champion, in a classic war with Mercedes Moné. Um, yeah, Mercedes can't lose, TK. You can do it. Yeah, she can lose. And lose she did. And thankful to Evans, she did. So this match, I'm going to give this a 7. The match gets a 7 in the entertainment level. And it was good for what it was. Will I want to see it again? No. But it was good. It was good for what it was. It was good. I'm glad to see that. All right, folks, we're up to the main event of All in Texas. It was John Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Title in a Texas Death Match. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. This Texas Death Match was probably one of the most bloodiest things I have ever seen in a Texas Death Match. These men brought now John Moxley had this bed of spikes. He took out these bed of spikes from the underneath the ring. The Death Riders interfered in the match. Everybody was Will Ospreay came out. We had everybody and their mom come out in the match. It was marred with shenanigans. These men were all over the place. They used barbed wire, broken glass, bed of nails. I mean, it was biting, it was scratching, it was clawing. And let me tell you something, the end will justify the means. Swerve Strickland comes down to the ring with a chain, and he was conflicted. He was really conflicted on if he was going to throw Hangman the chain. He was really conflicted. We had folks too on the dome. Yeah, we had folks too on the dome. Yeah, and Swerve was very conflicted. I mean, Darby Allin came back. We had Brian Danielson coming back. I mean this match had everything. Everything you wanted and more with the shenanigans. So in the end, Adam Page used the chain to choke John Moxley out with it. He hung him up all over the top rope in front of Paul Turner. And what did Moxley do? He was flailing away. He was choking, and he was about to be his trachea was about to get crushed when he smacked his chest and tapped. And the referee heard the tapation and of Hangman Adam Page is your new AEW champion. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. I know that there's a lot of people that don't like Hangman. I know there's a lot of folks that don't like him. I understand. I get it. But you know what? In the end, Hangman deserved it. We deserve to have that belt out of that briefcase. It was finally put around the waist of somebody who's going to respect the title. And that is something that is most important here. That's why I'm saying to you all should not worry. I understand people don't like people, but the most important thing here, the overall picture here, is that the title needs to be respected. It's not to be put in a briefcase. Do you see Gunther putting a title in a briefcase? Do you see Cena put his title in a briefcase? No, they're around their waist. It's around their waist. That's where it's supposed to be. Do you see the Intercontinental Championship being held? And is it in a briefcase? No. The United States Championship, is it in a briefcase? No. All of these titles need to be around the waist of the champion that it holds, and it needs to be respected. And Moxley never respected the AEW Championship. He never respected it as a title holder. And I don't. And his title reign as champion was abysmal because he always comes out and it's always in shenanigans and he's always talking in riddles. I had no respect for Moxley. I had no respect for him as a fan because he didn't respect the title. And when you don't respect the title, you don't respect me as a fan because I respect championship titles. I respect them. And the legacy. and the people who paved the way for you to have those titles. That's what I got angry with. That's what I got angry with. It's for all those legends and all those people that win titles and their legacy and everything else in between. That's what I got angry with. That's what I got angry with. And that is exactly why I did not respect Moxley as a champion, because he spat on all those champions that were before him, who wore those titles, who wore those legacies, who wore that paved that way, who paid their dues, who bled for that belt, who fought for that belt, who went out there for the audience, for the thrill of the seek of the fans who wanted to go into that ring and that gladiator mentality and entertain the audience and a vast audience and over there. And then that was the reason why I got upset. That is the reason why I was so passionate. Is because there are other champions that were before him who wore that belt, who respected that belt, and you took it and you made a mockery out of it, and you spat on their legacy, you spat on their history, and you stomped all over it. And that to me is a disrespect. It's a blatant disrespect to those who held that title. And that is why I did not respect Moxley as a champion. And that is why Hangman Adam Page will continue that legacy and that title. Moxley, this doesn't belong to that's hexagon. Featured Earl. Yes. On the ground, no, right, exactly. Around the waist. We finally see the AEW champ for a long time. Absolutely. And that's why I never respected Moxley as a champion. That's why I didn't respect him. That's why I did not respect Moxley as a champion. So, folks, that is going to do it. That was all in Texas. The show had some credible moments to it. The crowd was an F, but the show itself produced moments that we will never forget, and it was etched in our mind. And again, I want to thank you all for watching All in Texas last Saturday with me. You rode with me, you ride with me, and everything else. And I appreciate you wholeheartedly. Folks, that's going to do it for the wrestling experience. That is going to do it. That is going to put a bow on this show. I want to thank you all for watching tonight. I want to thank you all for tuning into tonight's telecast. The encore presentation of this show, just like every other show on my YouTube channel, can be seen on my YouTube channel. Bad crowd, great results. Absolutely. Great show, Earl. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. So, folks, that's going to do it. That is going to do it for me for the wrestling experience. I want to thank you all for watching tonight. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's telecast. And I'll be back again on Monday night for Monday Night Raw. Until then, everyone, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Have a safe weekend, everyone. And I'll be back again in the saddle once again for Monday Night Raw as the road to SummerSlam continues. Until then, everyone, thank you again for watching. I'm Earl Cole. And Monday, we'll see you on Monday for Raw. Good night, everyone.